Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface after taking a week's sabbatical. I don't know. Batwoman returns to your TV screens on the CW tonight, which means there will be a Batwoman explanation video. I don't even know what to call them. Tomorrow up on this channel. However, there is more rather interesting. I'm going to put that in like a wad of parentheses, okay? Interesting news that's coming out from the Batwoman universe. I'm going to use Bounding into Comics to explain this one. Ruby Rose reveals her willingness to return to the CW's Batwoman under the right conditions. Oh man, let's get into this, shall we? Ruby Rose left Batwoman suddenly after season 1, and with the actress working on films and the network erasing her, oh my god, from her recently aired Arrowverse special, both she and the CW seem to be moving on. What they're referring to is there is a snippet where the heroes are lined up. Ruby Rose's Batwoman was one of them, but they got rid of her. They airbrushed her out. Bye-bye. So in the promotional material, she did not appear. In an interview, Rose told Comic Book Movie, I'm obviously moving on to other roles, as I think I've done about 3 films since leaving Batwoman. However, Ruby Rose went on to admit that should the two parties come to an understanding, she'd be open to return to the show, though not as Batwoman. Now then, Ruby has indeed done a couple of movies since. She did one called The Doorman. Shall we have a look at how The Doorman did? Here we go. The Doorman took $100,000 at the box office. Now, I know Coof was going on, and I know that a lot of movie theaters were closed down. $100,000. And it's also made $78,000 in DVD sales and $516,000, nearly $17,000 in Blu-rays. Those are both estimated, though. So there is a provisional total of approximately $695,000 that the movie made. $695. Oh, Ruby, you're selling it, girl. One thing that I've seen advertised on Sky recently through Now TV is she's going to appear in SAS Red Notice. I think it's an Andy McNabb adaptation. And that's currently hovering at around 4.5 out of 10 on the IMDb's. And this is, I believe, showing on Sky Box Office. Who's going to buy this? Well, about 1,300 people by the looks of it. Yeah. But it came out like a couple of days ago. I'm not personally in a rush to say I can't take this seriously. I think she's less than 100 pounds in weight. I can't take her seriously in anything. I'm sorry. Anywho, hey, get us into trouble. No, stop it. We'll get to the ratings in a moment. Okay, let's push on. She'd want to be Kate Kane and just Kate Kane, as she fears that if she got back into the suit, her reappearance would detract from the series' focus on the new Scarlet Knight. It's not a Scarlet Knight. Played by Javicia Leslie. No, narcissistic racist, played by Javicia Leslie. Look, okay, it's no secret. Ruby Rose had a massive problem wearing the Batwoman suit. I don't know if it was some sort of allergy or allergic reaction or whatever, but she absolutely hated being in the Batwoman suit. So it doesn't surprise me in the slightest that one of the conditions of her returning, and by the way that she's communicating this information, it does tend to lead itself to the fact that it was Ruby Rose's decision to leave the show. Maybe she made certain demands if she was to stay on for season 2, and they were not willing to meet those demands, so she left. But it definitely seems as if Ruby Rose was in control of her destiny within the show. But it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't take away from the fact that she openly hated wearing the suit, and therefore returning back to the show simply as Kate Kane and not Batwoman. Yeah, I could understand why she'd try and play that card. As regards to, well, we'll get into this one in a second. I would totally return to the show, said Rose. I don't think it would serve the story because I think building the new Batwoman is more important than going back too far into Kate Kane. Well, judging by what we've seen from Batwoman, nobody backed into Kate Kane. Not one person backed into Kate Kane at all. But of course I would. I would absolutely do anything they wanted as far as that. So again, it sounds as if she already had a list of demands if she was going to stay on for season 2. But as regards to keeping the focus with Javicia Leslie, she added playing Kate and introducing her to the world to help inspire a bunch of kids. What? Inspire them to what? You were a narcissist, a selfish narcissist, nasty, horrible, self-centered narcissist in the show. You didn't want to help people. You built a gay bar across the road from a restaurant because the restaurant owner kicked you out. You're bitter. You're a typical nasty, bitter Twitter person that we see that is progressive. I'm so progressive, I want to cancel anyone that disagrees with me. You're kind of one of those. Was special and also applauded where the show is going with Leslie. Well, let's have a look where the show is going with Javicia Leslie. Down the shitter. That's exactly where it's going. Down the U-bend with a big fat flush. Because the best rating that it's managed to pop this season in 6 episodes, 6 attempts, is a meager 700,000. And for the last 3 weeks in a row, it's been producing season low, series low, after series low, after series low. And with a week off, are more people going to drop off this week? Or do you think more people are going to be inclined to see where the show's going? Who knows? We'll find that provisional rating out tomorrow, of course. But it's now just getting just slightly a fraction over 450,000 viewers. Nobody's watching. The proverbial nobody is watching this. Nobody cares about it. It's dog shit. Utter dog shit. Oh, Jesus. It's such a beautiful thing to be able to watch. Rose said you hadn't watched it. I haven't watched the whole thing. Of course you haven't. But I've watched a couple of episodes. You've had a couple of episodes on in the background. And I think how they're handling it is beautiful. I'm almost willing to bet cash dollar, cash money in your hand right now. Take a bet that Ruby Rose hadn't seen shit of this season. And I think it's like Javicia Leslie's time to shine. No. CW deleted Rose from the lineup of the Arrowverse's Justice League in a recent special, but it sounds like there's no bad blood. Instead, what we have here might be a vain attempt by the network and producers to push out of people's minds to a degree the fact that Rose was ever Batwoman. Quite possibly. In other words, because these, of course, are bitter people. Nasty little bitter, petty, small-minded people. In other words, the only true Cape Crusader and Vanguard of Hope in the Arrowverse is Ryan Wilder. No. Also, they want us to think. It could also be that everyone wants to leave the door open for Rose's return as soon as her schedule is free. Kate Kane's disappearance is a subplot in the new season, and they'll need to wrap that up somehow, and there's no better way to do so than having Rose make, at the very least, a cameo. Not that it'll save the show, but bringing things full circle wouldn't hurt. Yeah, there's a possibility that Ruby Rose could turn up in a cameo. I couldn't possibly care. The show is absolute garbage. It really is. It was garbage under Ruby Rose. It's even bigger garbage under Javicia Leslie. I don't know how on earth this is on television. I really don't. But there you go. Apparently it's to put smiles on faces for the kids. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. Do you care? Why should I bother even asking? But do you care that Ruby Rose might... Fuck, who cares? I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do get a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming links. They're in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.